growing up in our family, we always were present during the film shoots and would help in whatever ways we could, whether it was just being an extra in the background or over the years I worked as a extras casting person on One from the Heart. I worked in makeup on Black Stanley Returns. I just did a lot of different things, summer jobs, and kind of grew up around it. So there was never a conscious moment of wondering, oh, is this something I'm going to pursue or not? Mostly my experiences were being around my dad's films, and Rumblefish was just one more further example of the things he was exploring. And so it was exciting rehearsal, and my dad was eager to, really indoctrinate the actors into kind of more of a theater tradition of sense memory and having a lot of experiences together. With Outsiders, my dad had engaged a Tai Chi instructor to be part of this rehearsal period and training all the guys to do Tai Chi. Thought that would be a sort of a collective experience that would bring them together. Rumblefish was a bit more refined. I remember the studio here, got together with some friends from my school. I had a drum set. One of my dad's work colleagues had a bass, and we did a sort of a mock-up soundtrack where we recorded the dialogue as a preparatory tool.
Mr. Harrigan wants you in his office.
Rusty, you've been here to see me before.
Don't call me Rusty. Makes me feel like I'm not wearing my pants.
And there were a lot of new ideas being explored, especially using, the video tools to do rehearsals. We had a shooting space with a blue screen and various Apple boxes and things, various props, doorways, and things like a theater may have to realize a rehearsal space, to define the space. And then there was a electronic blackboard, basically a sort of a touch-sensitive blackboard that you could draw on, and it received a signal, so basically like a tablet today. But in effect, people would stand around and my dad say, okay, well, there's a door over here and there's a window over there, and he would draw it, and then that would be placed in the green screen chroma key. So we were able to, realize the movie in a kind of a sketchbook fashion. And it was a turn on because everyone realized that it was, kind of extraordinary and one-of-a-kind process.
Tell that gang she was out of style when you was 10 years old, Rusty.
No, 11, man. I can remember it. I was in the Little Warriors.
Well, my dad was the one who instigated all those things. Silverfish, which is the Airstream trailer that's a kind of editorial center switcher truck, like in the spirit of a live TV truck, that was delivered during One from the Heart. And so he developed a lot of these ideas during that time. And he was the first person. I mean, Jerry Lewis and other people had done things in the past prior using video assist, but we were the first company to really do it as it's done today. And my brother and I were part of that team. One of my roles in working in the video department, we called it electronic cinema, not only during the rehearsal prior to the shoot, but during the shooting as other sequences were being planned, such as the fight sequence. Michael Schmuen was a dance choreographer who turned it into a fight choreography, and Buddy Joe Hooker's a stuntman, and so we would go and help block it out and capture it, and then we'd cut it and go back and show my dad. So it was a workshop happening, concurrently with the filming. It Better had always imagined, there was a theme of time and time ticking, and so this idea of a metronome and a clicking sound, time elapsing, was a theme that he was interested in expressing. It's evident in the movie.
Time is a very peculiar item. You see, when you're young, you're a kid, you got time, you got nothing but time. Throw away a couple of years here, a couple of years there. It doesn't matter.
Stuart Copeland really became the sort of the composer of the soundtrack, and he's someone I had suggested because I was a big fan of the Police and being aware that there was this wish for kind of a precision to the expressing time and ticking time, that he's sort of the most famously precise drummer, and so I thought he'd be great. I remember also suggesting John Entwistle as the bassist, and that didn't happen, to my disappointment. But yeah, I mean, originally Stuart was kind of just part of an ensemble we were putting together, and he came out to Oklahoma, and I remember picking up at the airport because, I'd sort of suggested him, and I was a fan, and so I offered to get him, and I drove the red Corvette that was Cherry Valance's car from The Outsiders. And I only remember because I got pulled over on the way to the airport, so I was late. But I became sort of one of his interns, and then while we were filming, of course, much of the music occurred after the post-production, but there's a large chunk of music that was created during the production, as I remember, because I remember going to his studio with Stuart, and he got some typewriters and a lot of odd props and stuff, and I would sort of help gather this stuff for him. And anyway, I had the privilege of doing the carriage on the typewriter when he typed out some rhythms, and I would do the carriage. So, and it was a movie that I have a deep love for and a special connection with for many reasons, the film itself, but also the experience I had as a young person being part of that team that made it.